We're going to talk football in a little bit. This is about how you run your business. And so every year, if you guys have seen this, after the season's concluded, the players are surveyed to then give report cards about their experience with the organization they just spent the year with. Now, sure, some could be skewed, but essentially what you're doing is giving honest feedback. So if you guys are listening to this on Apple and Spotify and wherever you get your podcast, the NFLPA, this is what they say the report cards are.
Yeah.
For the last 3 seasons, the NFLPA have gathered direct feedback through a workplace survey to compile in the annual NFLPA team report cards, and teaming up with expert survey firms Optimus Strategy Group, the questions and categories have been shaped to reflect what you as players value in your workplace experience, highlighting best practices across the league and identifying areas that need improvement. We thank you for the strong participation, and we're encouraged that it seems many teams are listening, resulting in better facilities, upgraded locker rooms, enhanced family spaces, improved travel accommodations, and other positive changes to your overall working conditions. So essentially, paraphrasing, the report cards are put out there to hold teams accountable, and then
it's working. And it's working.
And
as
teams,
they listed there.
Mm-hmm. So here's what we're talking about now, because the next part of that is that the NFL has filed a grievance against these said report cards and are asking the NFLPA to stop releasing these annual report cards, because they feel like it is doing a disservice to the organizations. And the NFLPA responded back, "Oh, well, don't you worry. They want us to stop. We're going to move ahead and do this year's survey, and you'll be asked about it in the upcoming weeks." How about that?
Yeah.
So Zach, the reason with this, and you can lead on to this, is we're wondering, the NFL owners filed a grievance against the NFLPA to stop the annual report cards. Now, Ari Mayroff is reporting that, the specific owner who is calling them totally bogus and wanted this was Woody Johnson. And Woody Johnson has received an F grade in the past from his players on that said report card.
Ryan, this reminds me of the kid on the playground who's like, he shows up, you're playing pickup basketball, and he's like, yeah, no, I want to play. And then he like misses his first 5 shots, and he's like, this is a stupid game. Like, why do we do this? This is a stupid game. Like, basketball is stupid. Like, that's how it feels. Like, everyone's like, yeah, let's get some report cards. Let's see this. And then he got an F, and he was like, these report cards are super stupid. Totally bogus. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, completely false. I think, honestly, we should just throw this away, because this ain't helping anybody. Let's get that shit out of here.
Yeah, it's like let's ignore the fact that how many teams and players have we seen over the past few years? I mean, even the Ravens this year, the Ravens did not grade out great in some, aspects. They come back this year, and Marlon Humphrey was filming the entire thing and was like, they upgraded everything that we had an issue with. Like, this was doing, I know the Bengals did the same thing. People were on them about stuff, and they're like, okay, we're going to do this. It felt like every team took the feedback because it's public. It's out there. It's not like just the owners got this. This is transparent with the entire league, with all the fans of like, hey, this is what they do, all the way to the point of how do they treat your family? What's daycare like there? How do they help the kids? So this was great. And then it's like Woody Johnson got an F as an owner, and he was like, I don't see what the point of this is.
Yeah, this is stupid. Waste of time. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the reason why for the surveys could sometimes things be skewed, of course, if how a player feels, but the reason why they're fielding so many reports is that the minimal reports will maybe weed themselves out? Is it someone that was frustrated with the team in one ways? Is it's a whole collective, survey. And I think that's the cool part for me, because at the end of the day, Zach, and this is with all sports, so I wanted to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Feedback and being able to use the data is supposed to help you. And everything from the player experience to the fan experience, when an organization listens to their employees and listens to their fans, typically you get a better result. And now I will say this with Woody Johnson. If he got an F grade and the Jets were actually a team and they were a juggernaut and they were a unit, well then damn, it can feel a little bit different. But it's when you've been one of the worst franchises since you've taken over the Jets, that's a problem. And then factor in that your fans aren't getting a winning product, your players don't feel that they're getting what they need. It's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
But it's for something all around sports. And even for us, like with business, like everything that happens, like everything we do with this show, Zach.
Yeah.
I can't say that I'm going to see every single comment, but I go back and look at what people liked, what people didn't like. And was it the content itself? Or was it, maybe this person really didn't like it, but why didn't they like it? There's feedback you get. So,
and
ironically,
I was going to say, I believe actually they stated right in here that they are getting with a participation rate of nearly 80%. So 80% of players, this is all of the players' grades on the team put together that come into the final survey. So this is not just like, oh, Lamar, they're handing Lamar Jackson a sheet and they're like, hey, can you go around and just like get everyone's feeling and this like trot it down to put everyone's given a survey, I guess 80% participation so far. And then that goes all compiled for the teams into one. And I guess they average it out for each, category.
Yeah. And again, let it be to the Jets. You win a couple games.
You knew it was the Jets.
But you win a couple games now, you're feeling good. And then, hey, whammy, just by the way, people still think you stink. Your players think what you're doing inside the locker room stinks. That's not. What have I said from the beginning? Your peers, that tells the story. And I know that they're the employees, but still not a great feeling. I don't know, Jim. I don't know, Jim.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, Jim. Yeah, definitely. The most predictable thing ever. If there's going to be one owner who is upset about this, it's maybe the one that was, what was it? He was taking advice from his son who was using Madden ratings to say which players were better. So I can't say maybe it isn't warranted in some ways, the F, but hey, you know what? Do better. That's what we should do better. I'm sure if you do better, you won't get an F. Maybe also don't, I'll say I'm shocked he got an F, especially after this season with, him just publicly throwing his quarterback under the bus, saying they need someone to complete those passes, all that. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that Woody Johnson got that. Who could have seen that coming?
Seems like it's been a fun time to be a Jets fan for your entire life, unfortunately.
Oh.
But just bring Rex back so we can talk about eating some snacks. That's still one of the best sound bites from a Hard Knocks of all time.